Hey everyone, and welcome to the intro of Scraptember. So as you can see, I've got two albums here and I label my albums. Let me get it out of the sunlight, not the sunlight, the studio light, and show you the right side. So I label mine with the year, and my children's name are Patrick and Oliver. So P was a newborn in 2006. So my idea for Scraptember was to do a baby boy edition, which you can tell by the title. And so what I've done is I've organised my photos for his album. And in fact, I did it before I went to the Flutterby retreat back in the end of July. And I did a few layouts, and I thought I'd share with you those layouts, but also how I set up my album so that I can keep my scrapbooking chronological as much as possible for this album. So the idea for Scraptember is that I'm going to make something creative for this project so that hopefully by the end of the month, I've done all of it or have done a whole pile of it. So how I set up my albums is, oh, I can't even open it. I start with a running sheet of the photos for each month. So April, he's got some belly shots, he was born, it's with visitors, first bath, and then these are the dates. 17th of the 6th. Oh, that's not the date. 17th of the 4th, that should be. This is April. And what I do is I put that in there, so if I am wanting to date any of the photos as I'm creating, then I can do so straight away. Otherwise, what I do when I finish is I do a little intro for each month so that it tells you a bit about what happened on certain days. So it might be that, you know, your first bath was on the 17th and you came home, etc., etc. So I did a lot of mixed media while I was away, and I'll try and get rid of the glare. But just a simple one here. Use some blue paint and a baby wipe through a stencil. Added some journaling strips and the thickers here. I cut that U out of a D because I can. So that's that layout. And then this is going to be my title page. And I did have the idea of having a photo of him and a lot of different P's, either cut out of pattern paper or the thickers. But because I'm not 100% sold on my idea and it is the first page, I have left it. I haven't done this page, so that's just a photo sitting in plastic sleeve. Next one here, welcome baby. So I made a mixed media piece of paper, cardstock, and I cut out the letters welcome, teed it up with some chipboard and some little tiny alphas, tissue paper, and more of this mixed media background on the paper here. And look at this cluster. It's so, I love it. Ephemera pieces, sticker, flare, a bow, some wood veneer hearts, acetate pieces, puffy hearts. Up here I've got some animals, some chipboard, some stars, a button and a resin. So yeah, and as you can see, yellow paint on the background of this pattern paper. So moving along, got a nice pink layout here. So I've just used this pink tissue paper, but I have started with some texture paste through a Flutterby stencil. And I've added this cluster here with the XOXO for the title. Bit of journaling here on some tissue paper, which is not so easy. Some stickers, big puffy heart and a bow and a doily down here. So I have laid some black and white tissue behind the pink tissue as well. And a doodly border behind it. And that's an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, cardstock. Oh, I love this one. So this is just white on white. So you can see there's white modeling paste. Just nice dot stencil. I've got white muslin piece of fabric and some thread, white tissue paper, and the white thickers that say happy. And that's just our first family photo. So yeah, I love that white on white. So some of these things, layouts there was challenges going on at the retreat, and others were just some things that I wanted to do. So this was a sketch with the 2 photos. So I've added some packaging and some splatters, some stamps, and then some layering in a cluster, some more layering in another cluster, and the title in the middle there. And that's using a lot of Cocoa Vanilla collection, as you can tell. So this was a fun little letter. It's actually a quote that I've written on pattern paper, added the cardstock in a diagonal look, added a doily and some pattern paper, and then this little man, like enamel dot puffy sticker with the thickers, "To my son, so proud of you," and just wrote on the quote. So, got some Project Life pages, kept it simple, vellum piece, not a vellum, like a acetate piece from Project Life. So cute. This was a nice fun mixed media. So Hello Nanny and Poppies. So that's the 2 sets of grandparents, and just sprayed it and let it drip. Added 2 colours of tissue paper behind each of the photos. Just added the title, the flare, and the acetate arrow with some enamel dots. And I even drew some stars, little asterisks. So yeah, so I didn't do much to that. Very simple. And this one here is just a cute little pattern paper background with a gold border. Figures how many people does it take to change a nappy. And I've just layered up some paper and stuck it on some fun foam. So yeah, that was showing him how to use the cloth, showing Dad how to use the cloth for nappies. I haven't put this in the right sleeve, but you can tell. Could probably even take it out. I could cheat. So I've added some star modelling paste in the background and some red spray that I've, made it drippy drip. Added a frame and the big word memories, and added 3 flares. So that was the flare challenge. Put some little washi on the background and some little resin and wood veneer, and a little bit of journaling with a big bold border. I thought with this big bold black title it needed a big bold border. And then on the back of that one is another 6x12, just some 2 photos of him having his first tummy time. Tummy time equals freedom. And wood veneer, wood veneer, wood veneer, wood veneer. That's all. That's the only embellishment. No pattern paper, just wood veneer. And that wood veneer is from Corbett Creations. I'll chuck that in later. So here is Project Life page, card from Old Hip Kit, a paint sample from Bunnings. Just used up these thickers here. This cute little postage stamp. Cork heart. Oh! Out falls the photos. Then on the back is Easter. So just added in these words. Blessing all of us and memories. Well, get back on there. So here's another layout. I've just added a whole pile of pattern paper. Just made them balance out for where they wanted to go, and use the patterns up there as well. Use the stickers. Added some frame and a tag and a doily here, and all this lovely little pops of stars and arrows, word stickers. Beautiful Poppy's Boy is the title. So yeah, that's sweet little layout. That was Easter again. And oh, the tea has gone awry. Let's put him back. Obviously I need to glue him down. So I love pattern wood grain as a background. So I've got teeny little Patrick, and I was trying some fringing. So I've laid up some crepe paper, blue and white, and I fringed it in the background there. Added some tissue paper behind the photo, added this little piece of lace, and then this big lovely sticker with a little bit of sprinkling. So this little nappy pin is from some, you know how when you do a baby shower, they've got all little bits and pieces to decorate with? That is where that has come from. I brought a packet because I got 2 boys, so I knew it's likely that I would use a few of them, and it was from a dollar shop, so it wasn't very expensive at all. So I used, on this one, the raindrop stencil, just lightly through there, not very thick in the texture paste. Added these 3 photos. It's actually quite bulky on the other side. 3 photos with just a white cardstock background. Added it up on fun foam. Added a little cluster here, and then the lovely big title with 3 different fonts. Love Beautiful Moments, the flare, and this beautiful big puffy heart from Delish Scraps, and some sequins. Did I say that I missed it over the modelling paste? I think you noticed anyway, even if I didn't say it. And then on the back, it's a more simple layout. Just bordered it up with this black piece. Added the 2 photos on top of each other and bordered them in full matte. With this one, then a part and a half and a half. Added this lovely little cute little bear. Why not? And then this camera and my journaling with some sprinkles up there. Another 6x12 layout. I love this one. So I use the muslin, comes white, and I used 2 different greens and sprayed it and let it dry. And then I used it as a background piece. So I added some of these blue and greens, a title, and some journaling, just with a border. So simple, but so sweet and textured. I love it. Same on the back, kind of idea with the texture. Got pattern paper background, lots of layers and a doily. Snuggle time, shower with love, and a blue heart. So sometimes I like to just keep it simple. Other times it's very complicated. I guess simple and complicated are the opposites. So next is a Project Live page again. About Easter at his dad's parents' house and at my parents' house. And then we come to the next month. So May, once again, sometimes I need to go to the back, but this one I've got all on one page. Unfortunately, we did not have a camera or a very good camera when my children were little, so we don't have great amount or great photos, unfortunately, but making the most of what we have. So I added a border down here, a border strip with a word and a sticker, and up the top here, just one layer behind the photo, doily and this tag, heart and some enamel dots and some words, this lovely cute little wombat with some enamel dots, and again the arrow to draw it in to the bottom. So that's an 8.5 by 11 piece that hasn't got the right page protector. So what I did was I put some in the right page protectors of what I thought, and others I just left them in 12 by 12 and worked it out as I went. So here's a monochromatic. I always say it wrong. Why? And maybe I just need to find a synonym for it. So added some of this modelling paste in the crosses stencil. Added some grey black, some black that was watered down, so it's more grey, which is nice because it doesn't overpower. Added some pattern paper and of some of this tissue. Actually, it's sort of like tissue paper or vellum, but it's from Kaisercraft, that is for a die release. So when you're using your die cutting machine, so that you could take it out so it doesn't get stuck on your die, but I use it as a layering piece with a piece of muslin. Lovely little simple title, thicker star, and some words. So some layouts need journaling, others do not. So that's the page protector for that one. I'll just close this for a moment and I'll show you. So I've got this layout here in an 8 by 10, and then on the back 6 by 12, and even this cute little 3 by 4. I cut this down because it's a cute little photo. Added a tag and a heart, and kind of the same on the background. And it can go anywhere. It can go in the middle, in the bottom here, or up the top. Maybe I'll put it in the middle this time. And then I've got this, a beautiful layout as well. So I used the dilution paints with the makeup sponge through that stencil, and added some lovely textured background layers with some of the goodies that I had with me. A Charms Creations and a chipboard. Best kid ever. Added some staples. And yeah, so that's just a fun little suite. That's a big photo close-up of my son. So using that mixed media cardstock that I made for that welcome baby layout, I cut out some hearts with my punches. Also used the cork to cut out some punches. Layered some doilies and more of this textured card, mixed media cardstock that I made on some ledger paper. Added also the Charm Creations heart. Added some drawn hearts and the title Cool Kids. And this is a foam heart that I outlined just so you can see it. So that's sweet. So yeah, so now you can see, there's none more in this album, but there's one more I think in the other. So I've got this in a 12 by 12. There's 2 photos for this one, 2 for this one. If I change to a different size, then it's easily done when I decide to scrapbook. This I've put in my Project Life, and I've just stuck the photos in there, and when I go to make that layout, I'll work out, and I've put that one there in case I want more. I just work it out as I go. So I sort of just put it in sleeves. If I know it's an event with more than one photo or a few photos that are not going to go on a layout, then I put it in a Project Life sleeve. However, I just have a think about what I'd like to highlight. And there is a lot of layouts in this year because, like I said, the camera situation wasn't ideal. So going into June, and I've written on there, it's upside down, written on there school photos in big because I need to scan them and reprint them so that I don't use the originals in my album, and then I have a scanned copy. So that's a long photo, the orientation of what's going on. That's nice. That'd probably be 6 by 12. So again, Project Life, and I've just chucked these ones in this side, and these ones are for this side because this is about feeding, first food. And again, whole pile of photos in that Project Life sleeve. So, just going to close that up. Let's quickly show you the other album. Whoa. Like I said, I think there's one layout in here, but you can see, again, how I've set it up. So here's an 8 by 10. Another. So I had these, I feel are going to be full photos, and whether I do them in 12 by 12, 9 by 12, 6 by 12, there's a few choices. So there's a few photos of swimming, so that's a Project Life. This nice black and white, but also I have a 5 by 7 in this size. So I've put them in there to decide when I'm scrapbooking. Another full layout, July, 6 by 12, 9 by 12, another Project Life. So I thought it might be nice to have a few little ones rather than a 12 by 12 Project Life, a 9 by 12 Project Life. I love this photo. My son had childcare. He was a screamer all the time, but even at childcare, even the little babies were chucking his dummy in to shut him up pretty much. He was loud. So some 6 by 12s, Project Life. We're getting into August. Another 6 by 12 Project Life. And here's the other layout. I do need to replace this photo. So this was a challenge, and I don't have the right sleeve again. This was a challenge to cut out your photo, and I got paint on it, and it's not a print from my selfie, so I couldn't wipe it off. But what I did here was use the lid or the bottom of my distress bottle. So, distress, here's the bottom here, and I've just sprayed on some of the oxide. I like smushed it on, added some water, rubbed this in, and then stamped with a few different distress oxide colours. Added the big turtle, and that's him in his jolly jumper. And it was actually, I've never cut out a photo like that or cut out a person in a photo, but it was actually a really good challenge to do because I love it, but also you can see a little. But in the background of this photo, he had to, the only door frame we could use was the bathroom, not the bathroom, the laundry door, and it was very messy with dirty clothes. So the background of the photo wasn't so lovely. It was a nice coincidence to cut it up. So as you can see, Project Life, full layouts, and just towards to the end, to December, to his first Christmas, and that's what's going on. So comment down below if you've got any tips or tricks that you think I might like. Also let me know if you're joining in on such things, being creative once a day in Scraptember. So stay along with the journey, because not only will I be sharing the stuff that I make and do some process videos, I also plan to do a traveler's notebook for 1 photo a month for his first 12 months, and also a junk journal, probably for maybe his birthday or something, or maybe I'll do it for my other son for 1 photo a month. I will have a look, and if I do get organised, I will set up my other son's album, so for 2008, just like this, and have it organised so that I can scrap photos of either of them, because they'll both be baby boy, and it's Scraptember baby boy edition. So I'll catch you next time tomorrow, and I will hopefully hear from you and you're enjoying it. Have a good one. Bye.